Okay, so this is part 2 of the evaluating functions video. Sorry about that. I had to split into 2 parts because my phone's battery died and I had no idea I had low battery. So anyway, so we're on number 10 and it says find all values of x such that g of x equals 0. Okay, so at this point you should recognize that the 0 is an output, okay? So that's an output, which means it's a y value. So x is something, y is 0, all right? So we want to go over to the graph and find where y is 0, okay? So remember the y-axis, the vertical axis, that is the point where y is 0 is right here, okay? So now the x we're going to have to go over, all right? At 0, what's the value of x? Well, that's going to be 4. But wait a second. If we go right of here, we're going to be here. But we could also go left over here and be at -2, all right? So we have 2 possible answers here. So that's why the question says find all values. So x could be, what was it? +4 or -2. Okay? On the assignment that you're going to do when you finish this lesson, I believe the way they phrase it online is find one value of x such that g of x equals 0. All right, so you can put in 4, that would be correct, or you can put in -2, and that would also be correct. Okay, so we've got 11 and 12 left to do. 11 says find all values of x such that g of x equals 2. All right, and again, the 2 is outside of the parentheses, so that's going to be an output. Okay, so we do not know x, but we know the y is 2. All right, so what we want to do is we want to go over to the y-axis, the vertical axis, and go to the spot where y is 2, all right, which is right here. And now we're going to ask ourselves, at this point, what's the x value? Well, x value, go down, and we're at 0. Okay. Number 12, find all values of x such that g of x equals -2. So again, this -2 is an output because it's outside the parentheses. Okay. We do not know x, so x is question mark, y is -2. So let's find -2 on the y-axis, which is right over here. Okay, and then we're going to go across to see where it meets the graph, and then determine the x value at that point. Okay, if we go right, well, we don't meet the graph. It's debatable, but because we have the arrow over here, but it's going to go down to -2 eventually, but we don't really have enough information to find that one. But on the left side of the graph, if we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, we're at -4, okay? At -4, sorry, at this point, the x value is, if we go up, right over here, the x value is -4, okay? So x equals -4. Okay, so from this lesson, you should be able to do things like, I would say, number 1 and 2 on the front are pretty typical problems. So if you have a function and you have the function rule, like g of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 4, okay, we're going to determine if this 1's an input or output. It's inside the parentheses, so it's an input, and therefore we're just going to substitute. And obviously be careful of order of operations, and your signs when substituting. Okay, so that's evaluating a function algebraically. And then we did evaluating a function from a graph. So we don't have a function rule here. All we have is a geometric picture of the graph, and we're going to use input and output to determine the function values. Okay, you should be all set to start the assignment that goes with these notes, which I believe is called Shapiro/Clark Evaluating Functions.